Hey guys, it's Lando from the Snap Fantasy Football Podcast. We're here in week 16. It's Monday morning and we're trying to figure out what players you need to win your fantasy championship. I've got a bunch today, but there's going to be a lot more. So drop it in the comments below. If you have questions about specific players, whether you should start them, sit them, all that stuff. We're here. We're answering DMs as well. So snap_fantasy is our Instagram and Twitter, and we will answer all of the DMs as well as the ones below. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. We're on a road to 1,000 subscribers. Only a few more to get there, guys. Everything helps. Anything will help out the channel. So anyways, thank you so much in advance. My number one player that's going to help win your fantasy championship is David Montgomery, Chicago Bears running back. Chicago is in the playoff hunt here with the win over the Vikings this past week, and Montgomery is on absolute fire. They play the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jaguars have a chance to get the number one overall pick, believe it or not, and the Jaguars will not be contending in that game whatsoever, but the Chicago Bears will, and I think they're going to rely on David Montgomery. I also love Allen Robinson as well, so if you got both those Bears, maybe you could even stack them with Mitch Trubisky if you're talking craziness, but the Chicago Bears are in a really, really good Week 16 matchup. I'm going to go lower end because maybe David Montgomery's too obvious. A lower end wide receiver I'm willing to start this week is Keke QT. They play Cincinnati in Week 16 against Indianapolis, another tough defense. He had 7 targets, 5 receptions, 53 yards, and a touchdown. Keke is going to be involved whether Brandon Cooks is active or not. And I think against Cincinnati, again, it's a really good matchup. They're maybe middle of the road against wide receivers, but he's involved in the offense. Brandon Cooks is very injury prone, so I'm not too concerned about any kind of receiving core. And it's going to be Deshaun Watson. I think Deshaun Watson should be in a lot of your lineups in championship week if you've made it on. Speaking of quarterbacks, my quarterback, doesn't matter how he plays Sunday night, but Drew Brees has a really good matchup against Minnesota. They want to make sure that they get revenge on the Minnesota Vikings. They won't be meeting in the playoffs this year, but Drew Brees is gonna come back. And if there's any issues with for Drew Brees coming back off injury, off those broken ribs, I think the Minnesota Vikings defense is going to fix that right up. Drew Brees is going to have a really good game. I could even stack him with Jared Cook or Emmanuel Sanders. And again, it doesn't matter what happens against the Kansas City Chiefs. I still believe that Drew Brees is going to be a very good start, and you could pick him up off the waiver wire. Another wide receiver I really like is Jarvis Landry in Week 16. They play at the New York Jets, so maybe we'll see if the New York Jets can stay competitive or not, but I think that Jarvis Landry is in a really good spot. The Jets are giving up a ton to the wide receiver. The Cleveland Browns got to make sure that they are a playoff contender, and Jarvis Landry is the number one target for Baker Mayfield. It's going to be a locked and loaded play. I've got 2 more running backs to finish it off, but if you have more questions, comment below, and I can answer how I have them ranked this week. I'll have my rankings done between Tuesday and Wednesday, so I could let you know any start-sit decisions or what have you. My next guy is going to be Cam Akers, running back for the LA Rams. He hasn't had a great game against the New York Jets, but I'm not too concerned. They played the Seattle Seahawks. It's a better, more competitive matchup, and Cam Akers is going to get a ton of work. I'm expecting Cam Akers to be on a lot of championship rosters, and that's why I'm excited to roll him out there. And he has a better matchup than a guy like Jonathan Taylor. So I'm not sure who's going to be ahead of my rankings this week, but I still love the talent of Cam Akers, and the opportunity is definitely there. My last running back is going to be maybe one that's too obvious. It's going to be Aaron Jones. He is a championship running back. He had 145 yards and a touchdown against Carolina this week, and Tennessee just gives up so much to every position. I'm excited for Aaron Jones this week, and in championship week, and he's going to absolutely run all over them. It's going to be in Green Bay, which the weather could be crazy, which could lead to a running game like no other. You never know about the weather in Green Bay in the playoffs, so Aaron Jones is a locked and loaded starter. If you have more questions like tight ends, like quarterbacks, let me know, drop it in the comments, and I will help you out figure out your Week 16 lineup. Let's get to some championships. Make sure to like and subscribe if you like our content, and we will see you next time.